Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you clicking on my video today. I've got a couple of scrap blankets to show you. I know that a lot of people have been working on scraps lately and it kind of feels like a spring cleaning kind of thing to do. I started mine right around Christmas time, I think right after Christmas. But I worked on one and I really enjoyed it. So I worked on another one as well so I could show them both to you at the same time. There are so many different patterns out there, obviously, in the crochet world. And with scraps, I feel like I don't want to do like granny squares where I'm tying off after each one because I want to use up the scraps as they are. Like I don't want to waste a lot of tying off snips. You know, I don't want to lose a lot of the scraps in that. So I wanted to kind of use what scrap piece I had until it ran out. And as you know, a lot of people have made, and I made quite a few of those scrap kind of mystery cakes, wild cakes, I called them, where I just was grabbing a yarn and putting it on next. So as I started to crochet, I couldn't really see what color was going to come out next. Well, then I get into a little bit of cray cray Amy zone and I start to try to color control. Like I didn't want two colors right on top of each other that were the same when I came back around the next row. And it's supposed to be all random and fun, but of course I put a lot of work into making it look random and whatever. So I really do love a corner to corner, a C to C, and some people do not. So it might be in your wheelhouse to do, it might not. There's a couple of different stitch counts you can use. If you go with a 5-stitch count, like I did on this blanket, the squares are a lot more tight knit together. You could also go with a 6-stitch count and it gives you a little bit more spacing in between. So that's really up to you. Man. So as you're going through it, you know, you can see, I wonder how many of these yarns you guys recognize as one that you've used before. So here's that Red Heart Super Saver, that Icelandic color that was my dad's, and I put it right next to the rainbow that was my mom's. This was a really great one. I didn't buy this skein. This was a remnants that I bought from somebody else on eBay. I bought a bunch of loose ends or, you know, scraps from somebody else. This is a Craft Smart, which I really love. It's Michael's economy brand. And I really love the color combos in that. I still have a few balls of that. This one was one of my favorites. It's also the Craft Smart, this browns and red and blue and white. I just absolutely love that one. It looks so pretty. Or I don't know, pretty is the right word, but and then some Christmas in here. Here's another Craft Smart. I think it's a Fiesta colorway that I just love. So this one here, this was a jumbo, a Karen jumbo or a Karen pound, one of those, I'm not sure. That was a great one. Oh, look how pretty. So yeah, I mean, you know, like here was a big section, so I don't know, I don't remember. Like I said, I started this a couple months ago in the end of December or so. And so whether I had a piece and decided, okay, that's too much of that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and save some to put it in later. Or if I had 2 different scrap pieces because I had worked on multiple projects with it. So this one is, I just measured them both. I think it's about 40 by 42. And so it really can just, no two would be the same, right? In all of the scraps that you might put together. So I like the way it looks. I really do. I'm a big fan of the C to C. And like I said, with this one, I use the smaller stitch counts so that they're really tight together. There's not a lot of spacing. So the other one that I worked on, and this one, the C to C, I kind of worked through what scraps I was touching. But by the time I started to work on the second blanket, I was coming across a lot of cakes where I had mixed weights of yarn. So I'd have a 3 and then I'd have a 4 and then a 5 and back and forth. And I decided to cut those out. I thought it would be, that's part of the wild and crazy mystery part of it, but it was really not texturally appealing. So I went ahead and cut out sections of that as I got to them. So this second one took me quite a long time, but it is one of my other favorite stitches. You know, I say favorite a lot. I just love this craft so much. So many of them register as a favorite to me. But this is the 2 double crochet rows at the same time. I actually have a tutorial out on this, which is a little bit old and lengthy in the talk, so I apologize for that if you're going to go check it out. But if you enjoy doing 2 rows at the same time, you can see how quickly it works up. So here's a double crochet basically, and here's a double crochet, this purple, and you've run it all at the same time. So it's kind of like a treble crochet in that you've looped, you know, you pull through 2 more than just the 2 times of a double crochet. But what you're doing is one of those loops that you grab is from the stitch next to it that you just finished. So that's how it sort of gives you a layer of 2 different stitches on top of each other, which I just love. So this was another one that was just really fun to start working through. And I was trying, again, not to put, like this is weird to me, all the green ended up kind of over on this side. It's got multiple pinks on this side. I had quite a few reds and burgundy and magenta-ish. So I was trying not to put too many of those together. And see, this one, you do have some airiness. You can see all that light coming through behind me. So this one isn't super compact in the stitches. And so that might, you know, give you a little bit more breeziness. But I really like this one. This one's a little bit bigger. I think it's 42 by 46. And again, I just kind of hold the chain across my lap until I think it's big enough. This one is another one of the Craft Smart colors that I absolutely adored. And they don't make this one anymore. This one's discontinued. Giverny or something was the name of it. I just love it. And so if anybody's got that in their stash, I want to buy it from you. I absolutely love it. You can see here, I made my, oh, let's just show her off while I'm showing that yarn. See, this is the thing about using up your scraps, is that you can look back at other things that you've done with that yarn and, you know, remember those times or remember those projects. So look how cute. I was starting to follow a pattern for this dress and decided to kind of go out on my own with it. So it sort of feels like my own pattern a little bit, but I just love her. And I made a little bag because I was making all my bags and a little flower. Look how cute. So yeah, Craft Smart is, if you don't have a Michaels near you, everybody's got it online though, right? And so here, I'll just lay her down so she doesn't fall. So yeah, so Michaels has that Craft Smart yarn line. That's their economy line. And I think it's a great yarn. I absolutely love it. There's the color combinations. They've got so many great ones. Let's see if I have any more in this one. I think I ran all through them. Here's a little bit more of that one, that purple and blue and pinkish one. I really like that one. But the Fiesta, and they've made a lot of colors that I've used, and I always look back to that line of yarn when I need to find something new. So yeah, so if you've got any scraps, go ahead and start working them together. You know, it takes you down memory lane just a little bit. Like I say, I wonder how many of these you might recognize as ones that you've worked on before. There are so many different patterns to work with your scraps, so just get in there and play with it. So I still have tons of different cakes that were partials, some that just ended up in little balls again, and I'll be adding those as I go, kind of thing. I don't know if I'm done with my scrappies right now. I've got some other projects that I'm working on, so I don't have any scrap, you know, any additional scrap blankets right around the corner, but I certainly have enough scraps to do another blanket. And maybe in a couple of months, I'll have another one to share with you. So don't be afraid to dig into your scraps and put them together and make something beautiful out of it. But even if it's just a straight double crochet row back and forth, it's a lot of fun. I feel like I double dipped on some of that work, but I learned how to make my wild cakes better for next time. And, you know, maybe not even take the time to put them into cakes, because if I'm going to pick and choose where I'm going to put those colors anyway, then I'm, you know, wasting time and wasting the snippets of tying them together and so forth. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my little scrappy blanket video today. I hope you're having a wonderfully blessed day, and please come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.